Hello everyone and welcome to my craft room this sunny afternoon in Brisbane. My name is Beth and I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Brisbane, Queensland, Australia. Okay, so today I'm going to share with you some techniques using our gilded leafing. Now I've had this for a long time and I have experimented with it in the past, but I wanted to share with you how versatile this product is. And some of my ladies have been asking about it and wanting to learn all about it, and we are going to be using it at my coffee and card class on Tuesday, but this video won't be posted until after that. So what I'd like to show you, first of all, this is the little jar that it comes in. Now it doesn't look much, but when you open it, and of course mine's nearly empty because I've got 2 tubs that I use, and I'm not going to open that any further than that. I'm going to bring in my big tub that I've got, and I would suggest that if you are going to try your gilded leafing, is that you get a tub like this, and it's very well sealed. And I would open your tub of gilded leafing inside this tub, because once you get this tub, when you first get it, it's compacted in. So the leafing, and as you can see, I've got the air conditioning on, and this leafing will blow around. So just empty a little bit in there. I also keep a little bit of sponging because that will help rub off your excess leafing, and I will show you what I mean by that later on. So a tub is the go with a good sealing lid, and let's get started. So the first, I've done some cards, but I'm not going to spend the whole video making cards. I'm actually going to try and make this as short as possible and just demonstrate the different techniques. And I have made cards already, so I will show you. The first one is using double-sided tape. So this is the card I made, and actually the happy birthday sentiment is done as well in the gold leafing. It's a very simple card, and this is just done with strips of double-sided tape. So I'm going to show you how to do that. Very simple card and a very simple technique. So we'll just get a card front, some double-sided tape, and look, you can see I've been using gold. Look at the gold on my tape. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, and I should have some grid paper here, but I don't. So I'm just going to, line this up. And just along one edge, give it a snip. You can just tear this off. Now what I do say about this tear and tape is that when you are using it, just make sure you use your bone folder just to press it down and get all those air bubbles out, and that helps seal it. So we're going to do that one first. So I'll just get my picker tool and just lift that backing off. Okay, so you now have a sticky piece of, if you can see that in the light, you'll see that it's sticky. We're going to bring in the gilded leafing, and I know this might look like a bit of overkill, but you will soon see why. Oh, there goes my lid. Is that my lid? No, it was my new desk vacuum cleaner. That's all right. So I'm just going to get these so that it lines up in a line, just so that because I've got a strip there, and we're just going to take that in and we're just going to press it along that line. Okay. Now you'll see what I mean by the excess. So just get your sponge. You could have a brush or whatever, but I just keep this sponge in my box, and it's just for gilded leafing then. Okay, and it's as simple as that. All right, look how beautiful that is. So it's a sort of variegated gold. It's not like your gold foil. I've got some of these brushes that I got many years ago. Oh, there goes a bit of gold leafing flying around my desk. And I just give it a brush as well. Now, I didn't do that very straight, but if you're doing a card, okay, you take a little bit more effort, and I would probably use my grid paper to line that up with. That's your double-sided tape. The next one I want to show you, the card that I did with that, I did corners. I did a few in the corners, okay. So the next one, I love this next technique. This is using liquid glue onto your stamped images, and I do have a photo here. What did I do with my, oh look, you can never be too organised in this place, can you? Oh, here we go. So this is the one I've done, and this is using the artistically inked stamp set, which is on page 105 of the annual catalogue. This is a beautiful set, and if you bought the DSP when we had it, you'll see that it had gold accents in it. So if you haven't got it, that you can now, when I show you this technique, you'll be able to make your own DSP with the beautiful gold accents. I don't know whether the light's catching that. So let's get on and I'll show you how to do that. I'm just going to use this same sheet of cardstock, and I'm taking polished pink, and I've already got, look at bits of gold everywhere. The large flower in artistically inked stamp set, and I'm just going to dab for our stamping and stamp that. Wiggle, 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 not rock and roll. Okay, now I will clean those later. I'm just putting them aside. So that's the pink. Then I've got granny apple green for the leaves. So I'm just going to do this very roughly just to show you, because I'm very conscious of time and how boring videos can get, and I'm sure you don't want to listen to me all afternoon. So what I've got is our Tombow liquid multi-purpose glue, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to run some little accents up to on the corners of these flowers, and just some streaks. Okay, and then I'm going to do a couple on the leaves as well. If you wanted to, you could use a paintbrush, but I like the way that you can just get this fine tip on this and do that. Now you will have to wait for that to dry. Okay, so I will put that aside. Now you could use also the fine tip glue. I have tried that. I just experimented today with this. It does take a little bit longer to dry, and I just wasn't as happy even with the finer tip. But, you know, use up these products. Have a go at them. Or if you wanted to, just go and buy yourself some of these fine tip dispensers and put your Tombow in that to give it a finer tip if you want. So I'll just put that aside for now, and we'll come back. But that's what will happen. You'll just press it into the leafing, brush off the excess, and that is not done. That's done with gold embossing powder, in case you're wondering. I do find that you can do some of the sentiments with the gold leafing, but the finer words just doesn't work for me. Look, experiment, certainly have a go, and I have done it on a card. I wasn't very happy. I thought this was too much gold, but this was a card I did, and you can see it just didn't cut it for me. So, but certainly have a go. Okay, so the next one I'm going to do is the stencil. Now I'm going to do this on Rich Razzleberry, which is my colour catch this week. And I've got a sponge here, which I use just for liquid adhesives. Now, I should have my grid paper down, as I said, but I didn't. Oh, sorry, that's the wrong one. That's empty, that one. This one. I'm going to put some of this on an acrylic block. This is my liquid adhesive. And I'm just going to do a section of this. So I'm going to take my glue, so my sponge, which is just for glue, so it's very sticky, okay? And by rights you should stick this down, but I'm just, because I just want to do things as quick as possible to show you, just sponge over. Now I wouldn't wipe it because you could get in under the stencil, so I sponge it and I dab it like this. You could do a whole sheet if you wanted to. I'm only going to do a small section. Okay, so smaller than I thought, but what we might do is we'll go over and we'll do another section over here and dab, dab, dab. You want to make sure that the glue gets down onto the cardstock, and don't forget, as soon as you've finished using your stencil, go and wash it immediately, which I will do straight after this class. Okay, so we're just going to leave that one to dry a bit. So that's another technique. The next one is using the heat and stick powder. Now what I'm going to do is I've got a bit of bigger strip here. Okay, what I might do is just take this leaf stamp that I had. Now I haven't tried this leaf stamp, but what I'm going to do is take my Versamark ink, and then I'm going to use our heat and stick powder, which is what you will need if you're going to use gold leafing. Okay, so I will just, you can see my Versamark, I have just re-inked this, so it should be nice and juicy. I'm just going to dab that in my Versamark and stamp that. Don't worry that because I didn't clean that very well, the greens come out. I'm going to do it twice. Okay, then I'm going to take my tray here and I'm going to put my heat and stick powder. I hope this is going to work, because I haven't tried it with this stamp, and I can't see why it wouldn't. Now it's white on white, and actually I'm glad that turned green because I can see it. With this heat and stick powder, be very careful that you don't overheat it. Don't ask me how I know. Yes, I overheated it and I was wondering why my gold leafing wouldn't stick. It doesn't take nearly as long as your embossing powder. This heats up very quickly and liquefies, you might say. So you'll see when I heat it up shortly. Just put my excess back in there. Okay, so I've got my heat gun and I'll try and shine it on the light so you can see. And as soon as it starts to shine, you need to take your heat away. Just starting to shine. It's as quick as that. You can see the, yeah, okay. So now I'm going to bring my gold leafing in. Hopefully I've heated that enough. Sometimes I do it too much. And press it onto your gold leafing. Oh, I think it's worked. Yes. Okay, I probably didn't heat. You can see how this sponge is ideal for getting all that excess. Oh, these are beautiful gold leaves. Look at that. Now, I probably didn't heat that enough, so I won't do it over my gold leafing. I'll just do the side just quickly and see if that makes a difference. Sometimes you can rescue it. No. So what I would do if you find that you've done that, I mean, at least you can see one good leaf, I would go ahead and I'd get a little bit of your Versamark refill and do this, even with a little bit of a paintbrush. Actually, I might do it on an acrylic block, just there. I just want to show you this quickly. So it's a very old paintbrush. There. Just touched that up just slightly. Versamark refill, a must have. Then add a little bit more heat and stick powder. Okay, there's no harm in going in and heating that again. I think I've got that. Bring in my gold again. And that should, yeah, that's a bit better. Okay, so you can do it over again if you wanted to. Okay, so that's using your heat and stick powder. I'll just get my mess cleaned up a bit. And let's get on to the next one. So an acrylic block is great to have for as your palette if you're doing any of this. Oh look, this is just about dry, so let's have a go and see how this is. I should have cut that down a bit, but so don't plonk it in really hard because your leafing will flop up everywhere and you'll have gold like I did. Oh, sorry, I was off camera. So I've just put that down there. And so many stencils, you can get some beautiful effects. Okay. There we go. Don't be afraid to rub that sponge to get that excess off, because it can all be used again. Okay. Look at that. Now you can envisage that as a card front. So the one I did was I did it gold on black and just with a bit of ribbon. Now the thanks, I've actually done that using the foam sheets. So I've die cut the thanks. I wouldn't do it again. It's a bit fiddly for me and it didn't give as a nice effect as I would hoped. It's a bit fuzzy and it's a bit fiddly to get in here. But just to show you that you can do on anything that's adhesive. So that's the foam sheets because they're adhesive on both sides. This is what I did with the stencil, and then I've just mounted that on red, real red cardstock with a bit real red ribbon on black. So that's that one. Now, of course, you could go through all the Stampin' Up's adhesives or any adhesives you've got in your craft supply. Another one is where you use adhesive sheets and a punch. So here I've got the adhesive sheet. This is where I've done one before. So what you do is my butterfly punch is here. So you put your adhesive sheet on your cardstock. So that's stuck there. Do your punch out your design. Get your picture tool. We'll do the big one. And just lift off that layer of adhesive. Okay. And then place that into your gold leafing. Press it down. Take off the excess. You could call me Goldfinger today because I've got gold everywhere. Oh, this is beautiful. Oh, look at this. Beautiful gold butterfly. Look at that. Hang on, I'm just going to get that excess gold off my hand. So you can see that will just rub off later. That's a beautiful gold butterfly. So what I did, I made a card. I embossed the embossing folder. I actually did gold leafing around the edges where I dipped it in Versamark pad. Then I dipped it in the heat and stick powder, and then I did the gold leafing. And so I've done the gold. I've just realised that this ribbon is a bit skew. I might fix that up later. That's done with heat embossing, but the two butterflies are gold leafing, and that's gold leafing around the edges as well. So, and that's how you get that beautiful gold butterfly. Aren't they gorgeous? So it gives you a little bit more texture than your solid gold foil. You can see here, and you see it. Oh, it's a bit blurry. Yeah, you can see the bits of gold leafing that have crinkled and ones that haven't, and I love that sort of texture. So that's that. Now, one of the technique that we're going to do tomorrow, on Tuesday at our coffee and card class is a brush stroke background, which I love. So the Versamark, I'm just taking my Versamark ink refill and putting that on an acrylic block. I'm just going to take an old paintbrush. Now you can do big sizes, little sizes, whatever you like. I've just got this old, bristly old brush here, and I'm just going to take it, put it in my Versamark, and just do streaks. Some brush strokes. Just like someone's trying to paint a background. Okay. I won't do a lot. Okay. You could do big brush strokes, you could do thin ones, you could draw, you could do anything you like. I'm just going to put that in the water. So now I'm going to take my heat and stick powder, put all that on there. I would leave it too long before you add your Versamark, before you add your heat and stick powder, because your Versamark, you don't want that to dry. So, but once you've got your powder on, that's fine. Doesn't matter what you do. You can leave that go for a little while if you like. Now I will just empty this back into my pot. Love these trays. Okay, we don't want to lose that heat and stick powder. All right. And then we get the heat gun onto that. Now this will show you just how quickly, it's because it's on a darker cardstock, you'll be able to see it clearer. When I heat that, you will see that change, liquefy, go tacky, whatever you want to put. There it goes. You can see that. And you just do it just till it changes to that liquefaction stage. You don't want to do it any more than that. But as long as you get all the white powder to go dark is virtually all you need. Okay, so then you take it straight or bring your leaf to you and press it down into your leaves. Give it a good press because you're in a fairly big area there. Okay, so now we're just going to brush all of that off, all the excess off. You could even do this on scrapbooking pages in sections. That would look really good. In fact, I've also done it on embossing paste. So when your embossing paste is still wet, just apply some of your gold leafing, and then you've got a nice little bit of gold accent on top of your embossing paste, which is another good idea. So that's your brush strokes. As you can see, you can get any type of design, depending. Like, I probably did them a little bit too thick. That, you know, it was just to show you. See, Goldfinger. So this one I did with heat and stick powder, as I did that one. But you could also do it with your glue, and you get the same effect. Okay, very similar. So if you don't have the heat and stick powder, use your Tombow glue. Right, so a couple of other things I've done. This is an embossed one, so I've taken a piece of cardstock and I've sponge glue over the whole page, and waited till it dried. Then I gold leafed it, and then I put it through my embossing folder. So that's another good idea that you could do. If you didn't want to glue it, you could use a whole sheet, cover your whole sheet with adhesive sheets. Either or, doesn't matter. As I say, if you've got any sort of glue, then you can do your heat embossing, your gilding. So that's about it. I hope I wasn't too long, and I hope I've given you some inspiration. I will show you the card that the ladies made at Coffee and Card class. So I won't post this until after Tuesday morning. So this is the card that we're doing. So we've got the brush strokes in the background, and on the this is Blackberry Bliss, and this is gold embossed on the sentiment, and then I've just cut some leaves and that from a die set that I have. So we're going to be doing that on Tuesday. So I'm not posting this until after Tuesday, because I don't want the ladies to see what they're making. All right, so that's it for me. Thanks for joining me. If you'd like any of these products, head on over to my blog page at winningcreations.thesearemystamps.com, and you'll find my safe and secure shop there. Thank you for supporting me here. Also subscribe to my YouTube channel if you wouldn't mind. That would be awesome. And I'll catch you again soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.